what is the value of the expression 2x squared plus 3xy minus 4y squared when x is equal to 2 and y is equal to -4. So this question is just a straightforward calculation. I have a formula, right? It gives us an expression, which is like saying it's like a formula. I have 2x squared plus 3xy minus 4y squared. And we know that x is equal to 2, y is equal to -4. Our first step is to plug in the numbers and then plugging the numbers into x and y, and then we're going to see what are the operations that we need to do first, and just do a calculation after that. So, going through the formula, I have a 2. X, I'm going to open the parentheses for x, and then I'm going to put the value that they assigned for x inside of the parentheses, which is equal to 2. So I'll put a 2 inside for this parentheses for the x. I have the square on the outside, and then plus I have the 3. I see the x, I open the parentheses, and then I'm going to put 2 inside for x for this parentheses. And then I see y, so open the parentheses, and I'm going to put -4 inside of this parentheses for y. And then I have -4 from the original expression, and then open the parentheses, the y is -4, put a -4 inside, and then you still have the square on the top. Okay? So set it up, and now it's a matter of knowing the order of operation, knowing what to do first. And this question is technically like 3 parts, because we are going to add or subtract at the end. Right? We are going to add or subtract at the end. You always do addition or subtraction last. So I'm going to focus on this part, and then the second part, and then the third part. Okay? So I'll make a note right here. This is the first part, second part, and the third part. So let me do that on the below right here. So the first part, I need to do 2 times 2 squared. So this means 2 times 2 to the second power. We do exponent first. So we are going to calculate what's 2 to the second power. 2 to the second power means 2 times 2, which is equal to 4. And then I still have the 2 on the outside, right? And notice that if I just write it like this, it looks like a 24, right? And we should put a parenthesis around it, because earlier we said we have 2 times 2 to the second power. We are going to use parentheses accordingly to remind us that we are still multiplying. So 2 times 4, we get 8. So the result from the first part is equal to 8. And let's look at the second part. 3 parentheses 2, which means multiply, and then parentheses -4, which means again multiply. So we have 3 numbers that they are multiplying together. We're just going to do it from left to right, even though the order doesn't really matter when we are only multiplying. 3 times 2 is equal to 6. Again, maintain the parentheses for the -4. 6 times -4, we get -24. Okay, so the result from part 2, from the second part, is -24. And then the third part right here, I'm just going to look at this as 4 parentheses -4 squared. Okay? And again, we are going to do the exponent first. -4 to the second power, this means -4 times -4 within the parentheses. Okay? So the second power, it applies to the number -4. Write it down the -4 twice. And when we multiply -4 and -4, we get a positive 16. We have a positive 16. So that's the result after you multiply that. So let's put parentheses around it, because we still have a number outside, right? We still have the 4 on the outside. And then 4 times 16, we get 64. So for the third part, we have 64. Okay? So now let me bring down the plus sign right here. So this is the plus sign right here. And then let me bring down the subtraction right here. And notice that this looks like we have a plus negative 24, right? So if you would like, you can use a parenthesis around it, okay, to make this look prettier. So now we just have subtraction and addition, so we can just work it out from left to right. By the way, have 8, positive times a negative gives you a negative 24, and then subtract the 64. So we're actually just doing 8 minus 24 minus 64. And let me draw a line right here. 8 minus 24 is equal to negative 16. Right? 8 minus 24. This is negative 16. And then bring down the negative 64. And then just do the calculation. Negative 16 minus 64. We should get negative 80. So this is equal to negative 80. So this is my answer right here. Negative 16 minus 64 is equal to negative 80. And if we look back to the answer choices, notice that they have negative 80 and positive 80 for the answers. So be really careful when you are selecting your answers in a multiple choice.